It's time for Down Home in the Tri-States with your host, Ron Jones. If it's farming, gardening, information, or just plain interesting, you can catch it all right here on Down Home in the Tri-States.
Good morning, how y'all doing? Glad to have you with us on Down Home in the Tri-States. I'm Ron Jones, your host. We're on every Sunday morning at 5:30 right here on News 13 WMBB, and we certainly do appreciate you watching this program and doing business with our sponsors. That's what keeps us going, folks. The recreational harvest of red snapper opened October the 1st in state and federal waters of the Gulf of Mexico. In state waters, which are from shore to 9 nautical miles in the Gulf, the season will remain open through October the 21st, closing on October the 22nd. In federal waters, which are from 9 nautical miles out to 200 nautical miles out, the season will remain open through October the 14th and will be closing on October the 15th. The minimum recreational red snapper limit in state and federal waters is 16 inches, and the daily bag limit is 2 per harvester per day. There's a 0 daily bag and possession limit for captain and crew on for hire vessels. I ain't understood that yet. I don't know if that's a loophole or it says this is a 0. There is a 0 daily bag and possession limit for captain and crew on for hire vessels. Does that mean that they can catch as many as they want, or does that mean they can't catch any at all? There is a 0 daily bag and possession limit for captain and crew on for hire vessels. I ain't understood that. That can go either way, it looked to me. Anyway, anglers are required to use circle hooks and de-hooking devices when fishing for any reef species. This includes red snapper in the Gulf of Mexico. The intent of these rules is to help conserve fishery resources by increasing the chances for a fish to survive after being caught and released. That is, if he can make it through that group of dolphins right there, okay? If he can get through them dolphins when you throw him back in the water, he might have a chance of surviving if you use these techniques. Go figure. Learn more about red snapper by visiting myfwc.com/fishing and clicking on saltwater and recreational regulations. Okay, so much for that. Back in 1980, I produced a 1-hour documentary on death row, and it was the first time that cameras had ever been allowed down on death row, and I took the first cameras down on death row to interview these inmates. Now I'm going to show you the whole thing, but I do want to show you one you probably remember, a lot of you do, with Dane Gafford. In 1975, he and 2 young girls were hitchhiking up Highway 79. This elderly gentleman picked them up, took them to his home to feed them. They were on their way to California. They robbed him, stole his car, and Dane killed the man. Young is out of bed to see this. They need to see this guy right here, Dane Gafford. They need to see what he's got to say, okay, about going to prison and going to death row. Y'all need to, if you can record this thing, record it, but get you, now I say young kids, I'm talking about, 17, 18-year-old kids, get them, make them watch this thing, Y'all watch our sponsors, folks. We'll be back in just a minute with Down Home in the Tri-States, and we might have a few other extra things for you.
Run on a little tub along, baby. Mama, don't you sweat it none. Everything is waiting inside for you. You know I got it. Coming in it with your daddy. Your friend, to that big job, daddy, you come running to you when you know that's something. I got the money, you got the honey, make me a deal I can understand. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Who's your man? Yeah, who's your daddy? Who's
Built right in Panama City, Florida by the best name in the business, Dwayne Phillips. Dwayne has done it again. You can check out all the rest, but if you want to save yourself a lot of time looking for quality in materials and construction, come see Phillips Trailers. All LED lights for better visibility, ease of access to side and rear. Built from the best materials available, folks. 6x12 for under $2,600, 7x14 for under $3,400, the big 7x16 for under $3,600. Phillips Trailers, located at Atlas Portable Buildings on Highway 231 across from Gulf Asphalt. Give them a call, folks.
Wow, this snow sure is gritty and salty. No, silly, this is sand, not snow. So that's why it's so hot. Yeah, but thank goodness our daddy owns A-Plus Air Conditioning. He keeps our home as cold as Alaska. Cool. Hey, I'll race you home.
For the most professional, most reliable, and most preferred air conditioning service in the area, call A-Plus Air Conditioning, 850-230-3009.
Okay, bet you I can win.
Uh-oh, my well pump quit working. What? You mean I gotta wait a week for parts? I can't go a week without water? Folks, how many times have you heard that? Don't put yourself through misery when your well pump stops working. Call the man, Water Dan. Dan can get you up and going the day you call him. Unlike most well pump repairmen, Water Dan stocks and carries on his pump truck the parts you need to repair your pump. It may just be a simple adjustment. It doesn't matter whether it's a home, school, farm irrigation pump, business, livestock, pool. Water Dan can give you an honest opinion and do you an honest job. I use Water Dan anytime I have a problem because I know I can trust Water Dan, and I will have water today. Put this number on your fridge and call the man, Water Dan, 850-535-9308, 535-9308. Call the man, Water Dan. Water Dan is the customer's man. How many times have you heard the big ones are in shallow water, or there are more squirrels than you can shake a stick at way up the river? But the problem is you can't get there with your propeller-driven outboard. Meet Joe Riley, problem solver, and the Tohatsu Jet Drive outboard. With Tohatsu's Jet Drive, you can get where no man, or should I say, no outboard has ever been. With stick steering powered Tohatsu Jet Drive and a Rhino boat, you can show your fishing and hunting buddies you mean business. See them at Joe's Motor Service, Hartford, Alabama, near Dothan. It's the 17th day of January, and we're on Depot Creek. Where you get to Depot is you come down Highway 98, if you're coming from Panama City, past Port St. Joe is several miles, and you'll see a fire tower sign on the left. You turn right there, it's a little dirt road. You turn there and you just keep coming straight. There's a little landing down here, and that's it. Right here, it leads out. To the right goes to Lake Wemico, and I don't know where that goes, because we've never been down that way. But we're on Depot Creek. We're going to fish Depot Creek today. Alan Pettis is with me. How you doing, Alan?
Good, how you doing, Ron?
Well, I'm with Alan. I don't know which one it is, one of the two. But this time of year is an excellent time to catch fish down on Depot. If you can catch it between around January the 2nd on up until about January the 28th. But it's got to be warm. It's got to be between 65 and 72 degrees. Right now it's about 63 degrees, about 64 degrees. By the time we get out and get fishing, it's going to be about 67, 68 degrees, or maybe even a little higher. And you got to catch it just like that. You know, when you do, you can tear them up. And that's what we're going to do on Depot Creek today. Tear them up, right, Alan?
Tear them up, Ron.
All right, y'all stay with us.
At least that's the plan.
Well, I got laid off down at the mill. I'm dead broke, trying to kill. Gotta feel as rich as Diamond Jim. When I'm floating down the river, catching them brim. Catching them brim. Catching them brim. I'm a laid back, huckleberry Finn, floating down the river, catching them brim. There's a big alligator over there on the bank. He's hoping that my boat will sink. But I ain't got time to worry about him. I'm too busy catching them brim. Catching them brim. Catching them brim. I'm a Huckleberry Finn, floating down the river, catching them brim.
Can you hold one of them stripers up? Can you hold one of them stripers up? Oh yeah, you got how many of those now?
3.
What's your name?
Johnny Cutchins.
Johnny Cutchins. Wait a minute.
Speckled trout.
Speckled trout. Speckled trout. What'd you catch that on?
Rattle trap.
Sure enough.
All of them came off rattle trap.
That's a good bait.
You doing up here, Alan?
Fishing with Ron.
You don't mind if we put you on TV, do you?
No, I don't mind.
All right. How long you been here?
I got here just after daylight this morning. I caught all the fish probably in about 30, 45 minutes.
Kidding.
I've been catching a lot of speckled trout, but all of them been about 14 inches.
Really? All right.
Good deal.
Well, I'm excited, Alan.
Throw it on the bottom and just bounce it off the bottom. They'll hit.
Yeah? What color?
Don't seem to matter.
Sounds good. We're gonna go up in here and see if we can catch a brim.
Folks, that's a gator right there. That gator's about 12, 13 feet long. Back up a little bit, Alan. Yeah, he is about 12 or 13 feet. I can't see all of his tail, but he's just sitting up there sunning. That's a big, big gator. And he's got his eyes on us. You'll find a lot of gators down here. This thing I can tell you is don't get in the water. And don't let your dog in the water. Dogs love to get out in the water, especially when it's warm. Do not let them out in the water down here. That gator there, I don't have anything to relate him that you can see that, but he is a humongous, humongous gator. Normally they would have been in the water by now. Okay, Alan, I've seen enough. Let's go.
So this one ain't scared.
This one's not scared.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. The engine went dead. I've seen all I want to see of that gator.
Look how wide.
Woo. Folks, ain't no better way to wake up to breakfast in the morning than there is to Register's Meat Products. They got your regular smoked sausage, and they got your hot smoked sausage. I like that one. And they got your center cut cured bacon. Man, that's my favorite. I love this stuff. And they got your smoked pork chops. Folks, you can get your Register's Meat at over 140 grocery outlets throughout the area. If they don't have it, tell them they need to get it. It's Register's. Tell them you want it, you demand it. And if you're in Cottondale, Florida, check out their store over there and get that Pick 5 for $19.99. Just like old Andy always said, it's good. You want quality craftsmanship, the best portable building you can get, you need to come to Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages. It's all built right here on site in Panama City, folks. Y'all come do business with them. State inspected and approved. Stop paying for somebody else's building. At Atlas, you can rent to own. Choose from a big selection or have it built to your needs. Top grade 2x4 studs, pressure treated floor joists. Need a strong, well-built garage? We can build them too. At last. Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages you can trust. It's the best product you're going to find when it comes to portable buildings and garages. Come see Dwayne Phillips. Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages on Highway 231 across from Gulf Asphalt. It's the next best thing to the old vegetable truck. It's Main Street Market in Chipley. Owned and operated by Paul Davidson, Main Street Market stocks the largest selection of good fresh fruits and vegetables and a whole lot more.
We sell wholesale or retail.
From fresh local milk
That's so cheesy creamery milk
to a complete line of Amish products to livestock and pet food.
We also carry a full line of frozen vegetables, all types of Amish cheese. We have Amish butter, that's one of our specialties.
Hey, you need it? We've got it. Top quality coastal Bermuda horse hay, year-round. Main Street Market. We're located on the corner of Highway 90 and 77 in Chipley, Florida.
Get something started, like a brand new Kubota utility vehicle during Kubota's Too Great to Wait power sale. Kubota RTVs give you ultra durability, diesel strength, and value. Right now, get 0 down and 0% APR financing for up to 48 months on Kubota utility vehicles, like the climate-controlled RTV 1100 or 4-passenger RTV 1140 during Kubota's Too Great to Wait power sale.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Sowell Tractor today.
Florida State Prison was built in 1960, and inside its walls are almost 1,200 inmates, most of them under maximum security lockup. Outside the prison, in between the rows of fencing, guard dogs patrol. Inside, all visitors and employees are screened by modern electronic metal detectors. Security is tight because inside this prison are the murderers and rapists, men who have committed the most heinous, atrocious acts against their fellow men. Men considered the worst criminals in the entire system. Over 100 of them have 25-year mandatory sentences. Many have life sentences. 146 are on death row. Their penalty is the most final, death by electrocution. Dane T. Gafford, convicted November 1975 in Bay County, Florida, for the murder of James Holloway. The victim was found stuffed in a closet at a deserted house in West Bay. Death was by choking. Dane Gafford, then 17 years old, and 4 teenage girls were later apprehended in the victim's car with his money on their way to California.
There's been mornings, nights, days that you just have to really pinch yourself to say, is this really happening? He expressed many times to the jury that I wouldn't even die in the chair. Mr. Leo Jones, district attorney, he expressed many times to the jury that I would probably never die in the chair because at that time they didn't have it. And but in July, around July the 2nd, I think they brought the chair back in '76. I'm faced with it now. I wonder if the chair would have been there in '75, if they was planning on using it in '75, would my jury ever gave it to me? Because...
Where are you now, Dane, in the appellate process? Where do you stand?
I'm still in the Florida Supreme Court. I've been in there, be 4 years in October.
What is life like for you on cell block R? Is that?
Yeah, it's R-wing.
R-wing. What is it like?
It's hard to explain. Many people's asked me in letters and stuff, and it's just hard to explain. I mean,
how do you pass the time?
Well, when I first got here, I only got letters from family and friends. I started putting my name in other pen pal, but most of the time, if you tell people you're on death row in a letter, they don't write back. I say 85% of them won't write back.
Why is that?
They're scared.
Scared of you?
They
or?
don't understand it. And I mean, but the best people I write right now are in prison in different states. I've confessed my sins. I've become religious.
What is a better way, Dane? We're not here to judge you guilty or not guilty. We're not here to even discuss your case. We're talking about the death penalty. If you were not in prison, if you were not on death row, and you read and you heard about the crime rates today, and you've been here now, maybe you know a better way. How should society feel about it?
There's too many stiff collars workers in high office. I mean, like judges and stuff. Like when I first got here, my ambition was always to help younger kids, juveniles. And I wanted to try to tell them like what it's like here. Try to explain it the best way I can. I can't do it in just one letter. It might take 10 letters or more. And tell them that it don't take a big man to get in prison or do what anybody done to get in prison. It doesn't take, it just takes a little misguidance from other people. And they think, like, even when I was a kid, younger, you'd say, come on, Mom, Dad, or somebody, take me somewhere there's nothing to do. It's boring. There's really blank nothing to do on death row. I mean, you have a TV, a radio, and you can, that's if you have somebody send you this. The state gives us TV, but the radios, letters, and stuff like that, you got to have somebody before you even can get your head back, straighten up anymore. And
how did you feel when John Spinkelink, what was it like in the cell blocks then?
Sad. Right after the execution, I mean, everybody hollered and let John know we had support for him. We was trying to give, we can't do nothing. I mean, there was nothing a person could do, inmate.
But then people who are watching us now are going to say, with the crime rate like it is now, if things were turned around, you could be a victim yourself. If you were outside. Everybody's potentially a victim. What is the answer to all of it?
If they have to look around to other states that don't have the electric chair and their crime rate is just as high.
You don't think it's a deterrent?
No, ma'am. I think if somebody is downright guilty and they give them the chair, it's wrong. It's still wrong, because killing him ain't gonna solve nothing. It ain't gonna solve. It might solve having him back out on the street, but what's gonna solve the guy that's fixing to come in to take his place? When a person goes to do a crime, he don't think, well, what will I get if I do this? Because it's a split notion thing when you do anything. Try like getting up in the morning. Your first idea is to raise up. That's about the same thing with crime.
Are you saying that it's a moment of passion that you? It's not anything you think about.
It's nothing. You don't even think about the time part.
About getting caught.
No. You don't. all you think about, what am I going to get out of it for myself? You don't think of how much time you're going to get if you're going to prison or nothing like that. There ain't nobody here can say that I know I was going to get caught. And
is life dangerous on death row? Are there weapons? Are there drugs? Do you ever feel that your life is in danger?
No. Every guy back here is all fighting for the same thing, and that's to get off death row.
Is there a closeness among you because of this?
We have some weird, off the wall sense of humor back there, and like anybody from the streets come in and hear us, some of the jokes we tell, they'd really think we's crazy, cause some off the wall stuff.
Like what have you got to lose?
But that's all we have. And
how long did it take you to adjust to the actual fact that you were there? How long were there points in time at which you wondered if you ever would, if you would lose your sanity?
There's been mornings, nights, days that you just have to really pinch yourself to say, is this really happening?
I want to give you an opportunity, just maybe for a minute, to tell us anything that I might have not asked you about, or anything that you want to share that I didn't ask you about.
The only really thing that I would like to say is there's people out there that support us. What I mean by support, trying to show other people that this death sentence part is wrong. We need other kind of help other than an electric chair. A chair is not a bolt of electricity going through your body. I want to live, and every man back there wants to live, and the death penalty's wrong.
I want to tell you all about Doug's bicycles. Boy, this thing is really catching on. And I want to remind you too that Doug services everything he sells. He's got many parts in stock, but ask Doug about his layaway plan. Now, it's getting close to the holidays, so you want to get in on this, because once it's paid for, it's paid for. You know, you won't surprise them people on Christmas morning with a motorized bicycle from Doug's Motorized Bicycles. If you have an older used motorized bicycle, Doug will buy it from you. There's no tag or registration needed with Doug's Motorized Bicycle. You can go to Craigslist, look under bicycles. Give Doug a call at 850-215-5212. 850-215-5212. Mention that you saw this ad on Down Home in the Tri-States. Doug Holmes at 215-5212. 215-5212. He's waiting right now to pick the phone up and take your call with any kind of questions or whatever you got. And if you want to just take a test drive, he'll tell you where to come and he'll let you get a test drive on Doug's Motorized Bicycle.